Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is a long-awaited sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a fantastic Spider-Man film. It's a great kids movie, and it's a great film in general. I really, really like that movie. Not quite as much as others, though. I still really, really like it, but I don't think it's top 5 comic book material. I heard a lot of great things going into this movie. As of right now, it's one of the highest ratings I've ever seen on the Letterboxd app, and so expectations were high, but at the same time, I was kind of maybe tampering them a little bit because of how highly regarded the first one is and how I don't hold it to those regards, even though I still really love the movie. So this movie, good lord, this was incredible. This is one of the best comic book movies ever made. I am not exaggerating. And I'm the person that doesn't connect as much with animated films as they do live action. It's just a personal thing. I have nothing against animation. This movie broke that barrier between live action and animation. This is how I feel when I watch any great live action comic book movie. This is really like maybe the first movie I watch it and I just find myself invested in every little aspect of it. This is a pure movie at the core of it. It's a family film. It's a deep emotional drama. It's about everything. I think there's something in this movie that almost anyone could pick up onto and connect with, whether it's Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, because they give all the characters a lot to do in this movie. It all serves it for the better. I really struggle to find flaws with this one. This is a near perfect screenplay, a near perfect direction. The visuals, the animation, the way that they take the animation this time around, it's more creative than the original. There are some moments in the animation where I do feel like maybe they were being creative, but also a little lazy at the same time. There were some animated backdrops that I just didn't love or just didn't have as much detail as others, but it was only like 2% of the movie, and it was a little bit in the opening and towards the end where I just kind of felt like they just did backdrops, and it's a cool stylistic choice. It's just, to me, it just looked a touch lazy, but that's like literally such a small amount of this movie. This movie has a lot going on. It's incredibly well paced. It is always moving. I think for the first 20 minutes or so, this is probably my only flaw with the movie. The first 20 minutes I was down, but I wasn't like in love with the movie yet. And then once we reach past, like, I think it was around 20 minutes, like once you hit after that benchmark, there was a certain point in the movie where it was like, I am totally in. And I think that's when they reintroduce Miles, because the movie takes its time when it comes to reintroducing Miles, because they need to lay down all this groundwork of where other characters are at, and they also need to tell the story again and do a quick little recap of the last film, which is understandable because kids movies feel the need to do that. Once the ball gets rolling with this movie, it rolls. It does not stop. What I love about the first movie is that it has so many fantastic moments, particularly towards the end in the third act where Miles becomes Spider-Man. It has all those incredible shots of him on the building. This movie is chock full of moments like that throughout the entire movie. There are so many moments where I just felt the need to be like, yes, this is so awesome, because it just gave you exactly what every great Spider-Man story does. It gives you relatable themes, relatable characters in this over-the-top scale, but it feels oddly personal, but yet it feels so grand at the same time. And this is what every comic book movie, this is what every action movie needs to be. I thought John Wick 4 was my favorite movie of the year, and I thought no movie could top it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse did, which is almost should be a polar opposite to John Wick 4, because it's a kids film, but no, if they feel oddly similar, it stressed me out. This movie got my blood flowing. It got me excited. It got me excited for the comic book genre. And I think we can say with full confidence that superhero fatigue isn't real, and the medium hasn't been slowing down, because with Guardians 3 and now this, and hopefully what I've been hearing about The Flash is good, I think comic book movies are perfectly fine. They just need to be good, because having Shazam and Ant-Man back-to-back did not help. This is the movie that I wanted. This is the Spider-Man movie that I wanted, and I'm not afraid to say it. I am a lifelong Spider-Man 2 guy. I think this might be better than Spider-Man 2. In fact, I already have it at a higher score than I have Spider-Man 2. I cannot believe how good this was, and I feel such a need to celebrate because, like I said, I really, really love SpiderVerse, but I never found it to be that top 5, top 3 comic book movie. I felt like I've seen that. I don't know if this is top 3, but I have it right now. I would say like around top 5 best superhero films I've ever seen, because it just understands exactly what to do. And what I also love about this movie, it has a very memorable antagonist with Spot, but yet he's also kind of a comedic butt end of a joke for most of the movie, but they almost use it to its advantage and makes him a butt end of the joke, but also makes it a part of his motivation. I've never seen a comic book movie do that before, because usually they just make him the butt end of the joke and that's about it. But this movie actually builds on that and does something like that we've never seen before. Oscar Isaac voices some other Spider-Man in this movie. Believe me, I don't remember their names. I just know there's Spider-Gwen and Miles, and the rest, there's one, I don't remember names like that. But Oscar Isaac's character, I think he gave an excellent voice performance and a very tragic backstory that I can relate to all the neutral conflicts that are going on here. And you just really start to see that kind of morally gray area that we're messing with. But like I said, that's what Spider-Man movies do. They mess with your head, but with empathetic characters all around, to where you get that emotional ache on your heart that make you just want to act on it yourself. And when this movie acts with its characters and with its action sequences, it's just enthralling from beginning to end. The action sequences here are fantastic. They tense up. They don't have weird joke buttons, and you would think they would do that because it's an animated PG kids movie, but no, they let it breathe when it needs to. And I was also really concerned that this movie could be also a cameo fest, where you're just looking about, oh, where's this person? Oh, wow, that's really cool. And no, you really don't get too much of that, and nor does the movie rely on it when it does maybe do a little bit. I cannot get over this movie. I'm highly, highly impressed with it. I hope this gets nominated for Best Picture. I doubt it, though. All I know right now is 2023 has been great so far. We had 2 5-star films in so far, and I hope that we just get more, because I'm on top of the world right now, because this movie impressed me in almost every way. I could not be more impressed with it. And the thing is, I'm this impressed, and all the reviews were raving anyway. And I just assumed maybe it would be another Into the Spider-Verse, where I thought it was fantastic, but maybe not like the best thing I've ever seen. But this is truly one of the best comic book movies of all time. It will stick with you because it has that emotional gut punch. But the reason why this movie works is because he has these such broad ideas, but I don't think it would work in live action, because it would cost too much and it would look like crap considering the modern day of CGI. So when you have the animation as this whole way of expressing it, and these broad ideas, and you just see it on the big screen with such high emotional stakes, and you have those together, it's enough to make you completely invested in the movie and feel like you're almost watching something that's live action. They completely utilize that to the best advantage that they could, and I am, like I said, cannot be happier with this movie. The whole entire voice cast does a phenomenal job. Haley Steinfeld did really good as Spider-Gwen, because they give her a little bit more to do with this movie. We focus a little bit more on her backstory and her family life, and I really, really appreciated that. And I'll just say, when the movie theater ended, it was a split reaction, but in the best way possible. There is a split reaction of one half forgetting that this was a part 1 and going like, what, that's it, crap. And then there's the other half who remembered that this was kind of a part 1 and just erupted and cheered and clapped for it. It was a great theatrical experience I will never forget. It is a very memorable comic book movie, probably the best Spider-Man movie, one of the best comic book movies of all time. Believe the hype. This movie is top tier comic book movies. And I'm going to give Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse a 9.6 out of 10. So yeah, anyways, comment down below what you guys thought of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's going to be great to be talking about this movie, because I really haven't heard of anyone disliking it so far. So yeah, comment down below what you guys thought. So like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.